was like going to see this guy one night. Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone. We're about to tell the world.
How old were you when you first got your period?
I first got my period when I was 13, but my mother had never told me about it. So I thought I was dying from my vagina and wanted Band-Aids because I didn't know why. I didn't know what was happening. And in actual fact, I was so embarrassed by it that I actually didn't tell my mother for about 3 periods. So I actually just used wadded up toilet paper to deal with my period. What about you?
So I first got my period when I was 18.
Wow.
And mum again didn't tell me anything about it, but she did tell me that she got her period when she was 18 and her mum got her period when she was 18. And it came one day in year 12, I said to mum, like, I'm feeling left out and I'm really sad. And she's like, what's wrong? And I said, all the girls at school have their period and I think something's wrong. And she's like, I told you that it's okay because I got mine late, so you might get yours late. And it sort of like lingered on, and it was affecting me because I just felt left out because all the girls at school were having conversations about it. And I one day just said to her, can you take me to the doctor? Because I feel like something's wrong with me. So she took me to the doctor and they said it was just genetic, and because I was so active with my sport that it was okay. And from then I sort of felt like, all right. And later on in life, I'm like, I'm glad I got it at 18, you know?
Everyone else had it for 5 years longer
before,
than you.
yeah. But like it really affected me.
Yeah,
like
mentally.
I felt left out. And culturally, like you have, when you get your period, and I think in any culture, like they say you become like a lady when you get your period. And I literally just felt not grown up and left out. So once I heard the doctor say, and really I should listen to mum, but once I heard the doctor say it was okay, I felt a little bit better.
So if we touch on your culture, they say it's women's talk, right?
Yep.
So you don't speak about it in front of men. Is that the same now?
Still the same, exactly the same. But I feel like we're not even having those conversations anymore. For whatever reason, depending on that. Every household is differently, culture, but it's just different for everybody.
Shana, you spoke earlier about how your mum said only pads. So I'd like to ask how you felt buying tampons for the first time and kind of what led you to make the choice to switch and whether that was a hard decision.
Oh man, it was so hard. Like inserting a tampon. So no one told me, I just read it and then I Googled it. Keep your back straight, open your legs and, insert. But mum never told me. And I never told mum for ages that I wore tampons because I thought I was going to get in trouble. And when I did, for the first time, I got in trouble, like big trouble. So you don't do that. You don't put anything up there. Obviously, didn't have sex till I was like 20 something. So didn't know what it was like for a penis to go inside me. But sorry, but yeah, she just was like, don't ever put anything up there. Nothing goes up there. So yeah, she was like mad as. But the reason I did it was because again, the girls were having conversations about how you didn't have to wear undies and see it through like your jeans and your skirts and stuff. So I wanted to try it. And when I did, it was like amazing. I was going to do this all the time.
Changes your world, right?
Yeah, it does. It just looks better.
Yeah.
So could both of you tell me how you feel when your period arrives?
Like in all honesty, I'm just like, bleh. Because I know I got to
I'm
go
like
to
double
work.
blur.
Okay, she's done. Well, can I be double and you be like triple? Because oh man, I just know one, I got to spend money, and I'm an independent mom of 2. Very expensive, and I'm just like, oh man, can someone just donate these to women? Because like we're born like this. Like why doesn't it come free? Like it should. Like condoms, you happily give condoms out, here you go. But won't give like pads, tampons, or these little cups out. I don't know. It's hard sometimes. And sometimes it's like good, I'm in good moods, and sometimes I'm just like blah, I don't know, yuck.
Have you ever been in a situation where you couldn't afford to have these and you've had to use other means to deal with your period?
So growing up, I was raised by a single mom with 7 children, independent mom, 5 girls, 2 boys. Plus mum, so 6 girls.
Imagine how expensive that would have been.
Like so expensive, and my mum didn't work. My brother has a disability, so full-time care of him and care of him. And it was just, we barely made it to be able to afford them. And they're like, that is like what, $6?
Yeah,
we had
if you're lucky.
6 girls in our family. Yeah. Sometimes it was like, do you really need to change? Like, because if you don't and you're just spotting, you got a little bit of blood, keep that pad on for as long as you can, because don't forget at the same time, like several girls in the house have their period, and because I'm like clean freak OCD, any bladder, like I got to get rid of it, like I got to change, and I couldn't back then. Too expensive, couldn't afford it.
I can't tell Indigenous communities how to remove that shame and stigma. How would you say that we could help in those remote Indigenous communities, right from Mergen and right through to Arnhem Land? How do we try to make sure that our girls who are 11, 12, right up to 18, who are getting their period, are not feeling the shame and stigma that can continue on through generations?
I think the biggest thing is yarning about it. Like no one yarns about it. So, and I know I've said this a few times today, but it's vital, like having conversations and normalizing it from a young age, because we as women, this is how we're born. This is, you're gonna get it. There's not many women out there that don't bleed, you know? And educating them on what pads and tampons are and how they work, talking to them about the prices of them, talking to them about just normalizing it and having conversations, because there's no conversation, and that's the issue. There's literally no conversations out there. I reckon my first conversation about periods, like I said earlier, was 18. Can't do that anymore. I feel really too for young girls with disabilities and in Aboriginal communities, because I just feel like they're put to the side and not educated on either. So including them in conversations. So I personally think it's conversations and normalizing them. And I feel like if you're having those conversations, then it becomes normal, and then the shame sort of like fades out, you know, and you can confidently like talk about it as a woman, like so as you should.
Yeah, as we should, right?
Yeah.
And that is the whole reason we are doing the Period Pride campaign. We are trying to remove the shame and stigma from periods and menstruation for everyone, for every little girl to know that getting your period is normal, and it's a part about being a woman. And it's if we continue the conversations and make sure that everybody's listening and everybody feels heard and valued, we can take Australians on that journey of trying to break that taboo subject, right?
And not having to hide out and not having to
Miss
deal with that
school.
shame. Yeah, miss school and not have friends, because there's already enough shit that you have to deal with as a woman.
Yeah.
You know, or a young girl. School, social media, boys, like a lot. Yeah. So if we can just remove like one of the biggest things, then I just feel like you're empowering women from a young age, I reckon. Like I truly believe that.
And you know what? You talking about it today will help be part of that solution. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So.